When was the last time you actually stopped and felt proud of yourself? Not for 5 seconds and not because someone else told you to be. I genuinely mean, when did you last sit there and think, I've come a long way? Because I think one of the biggest invisible battles that people fight isn't failure. It's never feeling like what they've done is enough, because you'll hit the goals and immediately you'll think about the next one. You lose the weight, but it's never enough. You learn the money and now you need more. And you'll build the confidence, but now you're comparing yourself to someone else. It's like every finish line keeps moving. And eventually, you stop celebrating your own progress because you're too busy chasing and comparing your next destination. Maybe you've noticed that no matter what you achieve, your mind seems to think there's something missing. You finish one thing and then immediately you focus on what isn't done. You compare your chapter 3 to someone else's chapter 20. You'll scroll social media and all of a sudden your life doesn't feel as impressive anymore. And you convince yourself that you'll finally be happy once you start earning more. Then when you get there, that feeling disappears almost as quickly as it arrived. It's not because your achievements don't matter. It's because your definition of enough keeps changing. So I don't think that most people are chasing success. I think they're chasing enough. Enough money, enough confidence, enough healing, enough proof, enough certainty, enough validation. The problem is, enough, it doesn't exist, especially when it's attached to a future version of yourself. Because every time you arrive, you move the finish line again without even realizing it. So a few years ago, I actually realized something. I was constantly measuring my life against where I thought I should be, instead of actually appreciating where I'd come from, because no matter how much progress you make, you're always going to feel behind, especially if you're only looking forwards. And I think that's why so many successful people still feel empty, because achievement doesn't automatically create fulfillment, especially when you never fully acknowledge your growth. And your mind will start to believe that no matter what you do will ever be enough. So this is when everything started to change, when I stopped asking, how far have I still got to go? And I started asking myself, how far have I actually come? That one question will completely shift your perspective, because progress isn't just measured by distance that's left, it's also measured by distance traveled. And if you never stop to recognize that, you'll spend your whole life feeling like you're losing even whilst you're growing. So here's a shift that I would love for you to do this week. At the end of each day, write down 3 things. Not what you didn't do and not what still needs fixing. Write down just 3 things that you're proud of. Honestly, it doesn't have to be massive. Maybe you've just kept a promise to yourself. Maybe you had that difficult conversation. Maybe you simply got through a hard day that you didn't think you'd be able to get through, because your mind naturally remembers what's missing. So you need to intentionally remind it of what is already there. Because ambition, it's a beautiful thing, keeping your goals and keeping growing, because they don't just make your happiness wait at the finish line. Life isn't lived there, it's lived on the journey. So I don't think the goal is to become enough. I think the goal is to realise you've been measuring yourself with a ruler that keeps getting longer. So growth doesn't mean that you stop wanting more. It means you've finally learned to appreciate what you've already built. So before you leave this video, I want you to think about this. If the version of you from 5 years ago could see your life today, what would they be proud of? Stop and think. Even write it down. Maybe you've become so focused on becoming the next version of yourself that you've really forgotten to appreciate the person that you've already become. So I want you to remember this one message. The biggest battles in your life, they were never visible. They were the beliefs, habits and internal conflicts quietly shaping every decision that you'd ever made. So I hope you can really reflect on this video. So make sure you leave a comment below. If you've been through this whole series so far, let me know what part has been most inspiring and impactful for you. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next video summarises this entire series so far and pieces everything together. My name's Harley. Do the work, trust the process, and I'll see you in the next one.